Welcome back, Gundam guys and Gundam gals. Patrick Grade here from ggmflip.com, and today I'm very happy to bring you the review for the MG Tallgeese. Now, I apologize for the long delay in between the unboxing video and this video, and really all of my videos as of late. I know I've really fallen behind on getting my reviews finished, and I do apologize for that. I always end up falling behind on these things and getting depressed about it, so I'm going to try to muscle through and get this one done and move on to the Master Grade Sinanju Stein, and also finish up on the Master Grade High New Gundam Verka that came out at the end of 2012, which is one of the best Master Grade kits in a long time. And when I do finish up the review for the Master Grade New Gundam Verka, I'll also be taking a look at the extra fin funnel set that Gundam Guy just got in stock at ggmflip.com, so that'll be added bonus for that review. So starting off with this review, I'm going to be doing a little bit different of a review style. Hopefully it'll be a little more clear and concise than the previous reviews, but we'll see how it goes. And as always, your input is very important, so please let me know what you think of the kit itself and the video style with a comment down below when all's said and done. So let's see how it turned out. So looking at the color and design of this kit, one of the key features that I enjoyed with the Master Grade New Gundam was the addition of a simple but effective color separation. It may not quite be on the same level as the Rail Grade line, but Bandai's really trying to catch up with the Master Grade line. The Tallgeese shares some of the same white and light gray of the Master Grade New Gundam, plus a medium shade of gray on several key joints, as well as a darker gray for the inner frame. Add to that some yellow trim and detail pieces, dark blue on the shoulder, hands, feet, and crotch, and red and silver on the head, and you're left with a pretty great color scheme on the main body. If you do decide to add in some of the various decals and stickers that come with the kit, and of course some penduloning, the Tallgeese takes on an even more interesting look. The shoulders and surrounding armor is rounded and a bit oversized, with the shoulder armor having no less than 3 layers of plastic, which allows for some great color separation and depth. The arms and hands are a little more simple, but look nice as well. The chest has a very blocky design with unique angles, 5 different colors, and an opening cockpit hatch. And there are a lot of nice, interesting details and pendulines on the front and back of this chest unit. The design of the waist unit and armor is also very unique. It's quite blocky and substantial, with the side skirts actually pegging into place loosely on either upper leg. The front skirts are nearly non-existent, while the back skirts are a bit more substantial, with there being hidden thrusters on either side. Below the sharply designed knee armor, the legs have a very nice color separation between the front and back pieces of the armor that results in a nice looking penduline. The feet and ankles have some great color separation as well, and the attention to detail make it look quite nice. So overall, I think the visual design and the color scheme of the Tallgeese is pretty excellent, although it's a little plain, especially when compared to the Tallgeese 2 that's going to be a special release coming up soon, and of course the Tallgeese 3 that will eventually come out down the road. But of course it is a good starting point as the basis of all the Oz mobile suits, or at least a lot of them, as well as the different variations of the Tallgeese. So you can forgive the lack of detail and overall complexity when you think of this as being the first in a long line of different variations throughout the Wing universe. The Tallgeese comes with a nice complement of extras that make this lower price Master Grade a pretty good value. There is a simply designed shield that has 3 layers of colors, with some really nice mechanical detail on either side. From the front, you can see the yellow edging, the 4 sections of inner frame detail that poke out through these holes in the white plastic, and there's also a nice deep penduline that helps break up the simple, large white piece of plastic. On the back of the shield, there is storage for both beam saber handles, the attachment point for the shoulder mounts, and the handle that can swivel up and down. It is a little hollow back here, and I think it would have been nice if Bandai had included an extra piece of plastic to cover up a lot of this exposed stuff, but it works out okay. I don't know if these notches around the yellow piece here were meant to be detail or if they're a way to save a little bit of plastic, but I chose to line them and I think it came out okay. The shield is very light, so there's no problem at all mounting it on the shoulder and posing it as needed. Though if you were to have the hands hold on to the shield by itself without the extra mount support, I do think the handle would be a little weak and would cause it to flop down if just held on by the hands. The Dober gun is a nicely detailed and colorfully complex weapon for this Master Grade. There are 3 colors plus a single clear piece on the sight, and its mechanical design reminds me a lot of various 50 caliber sniper rifles, which is appropriate since it's a long-range, high-powered shell-firing rifle. The spring gimmick in the barrel simulates the recoil reduction and the shell ejection functions present in real-life 50 caliber rifles. It's a pretty neat, simple effect that doesn't add a whole lot to the kit, but it's pretty cool nonetheless. Both the shield and the Dober gun are mounted nicely on articulated arms that plug into either shoulder, with the Dober gun on the right and the shield on the left. The Dober gun mounting arm has a few more points of articulation, but both arms work really well and fit securely to both the shoulder and to their accessory, although the weight of the Dober gun does drag down the arm a little bit after a while. This reminds me a lot of how well the mounting arms worked on the Buster Gundam, and I'm glad to see it here because it would be nigh impossible for the hands to hold the weight of the gun by themselves. There are of course 2 beam saber handles with 2 curved pink beam saber blades that work out just fine, nothing too special here. Finally, the Tallgeese has 2 thruster packs that mount onto separate arms in the back. Each thruster pack is very nicely detailed and has a great amount of color separation, and they even have a gimmick that exposes 2 thrusters when you pull the top and bottom apart. These thruster packs fall short on one point, and that's the yellow sticker that goes around the edge of the stabilizing wing on either pack. Stickers that wrap around edges hardly ever work out right for a very long time, and these stickers go around 3 different edges. Even if you are able to get the stickers perfectly aligned and in place, they will soon pop up and become loose. You have a few options available to you. You could of course leave them off, which would be fine, put them on it and accept that they'll suck a few hours down the road, or you could also put them on and use some mark setter or something like that to help them set, or you can just paint it. I chose to put them on for the review, but we'll probably take them off when all's said and done. All in all, I think the Tallgeese has a great selection of unique accessories that work really well with the mobile suit and help to set this kit apart from other ones. So moving on to the next set of topics, articulation and stability. The Tallgeese does take a small dip in quality in one of these areas, but fares pretty well all in all. Articulation is pretty good, with the arms and shoulder armor having a good range of movement, with the shoulder joints sharing a similar mechanical design with that of the Master Grade Gundam Age kits. The arms can reach nicely across the chest, and the elbows can bend 180 degrees with the other obligatory articulation points. The hands are the modular designs that we saw in previous Wing EW kits, so nothing too fancy there. The head and neck are pretty unique, with there being a chin guard or gorget of sorts that moves up and down with the head. It's a neat effect that I find pretty interesting. There is very little twisting or bending at the torso due to the height of the surrounding armor, so don't expect too much articulation in that area. Thanks to the minimal front skirts and loose pegs between either side skirt and thigh, the legs are able to come forward a decent amount. There's sufficient bend at the knee joints, although the back skirts do prevent too much backward bending. The ankles and feet are nicely articulate and somewhat sturdy, although the small pieces of ankle armor just above either foot are prone to pop loose and can get in the way of articulation. Without all the extra components attached to the main body, the kit is pretty sturdy when it comes to posing and standing on its own 2 feet, although the stability quickly falters with the thruster packs and shoulder-mounted weapons added. I do find this a little frustrating, as I would like to not have to worry about having an action base for this kit. Most of the other Master Grade Wing kits fare a little bit better in this regard, but the fully loaded Tallgeese does need some help standing and posing on its own, at least in my experience. When it comes to kits, especially Master Grades, I put a lot of value in articulation and stability. Some kits, like the various unicorn variations and the Sinanju for example, are meant to be, at least in my mind, showpieces that you find 1 or 2 good poses for and put them on your shelves to admire from time to time. On the other hand, I feel that Master Grade kits like the Tallgeese, Heavy Arms with Sandrock, Buster and Blitz, and even the new Gundam Verkab are meant to be played with and enjoyed on a more tactile level. With the Tallgeese, I feel like I can move parts around, bend joints, and just have a good time with it without worrying too much about it falling apart. Again, it would be much better if I could stand it on its own and not have to worry about having an action base around. But overall, I think the Tallgeese does pretty well in this regard. The only fault that I see with the color and design would be the yellow stickers on the thruster packs. This sort of thing may be forgivable on a high-grade kit, but not for a Master Grade, especially when there are already other pieces of plastic the same color just a few inches away. Maybe it has something to do with there being 3 kits that will be used in this mold, but I think that's a pretty weak excuse. This is by no means a deal breaker for this kit. I think it looks pretty great otherwise, but it just seems like it shouldn't have happened. So was a long wait for the Master Grade Tallgeese worth it? I think so. I don't really have any sort of attachment with either the Gundam Wing series or this particular mobile suit design, although I really have grown to like it after building it and playing with the kits. It may not be the best Master Grade out there, but for just a little bit over $50, I think most people will have a great time with it and not feel bad about spending the money. Of course, there's the question of which version of the Tallgeese to get. This one, the limited edition Tallgeese 2 that comes out in a month or so, if you can still find it available, or the inevitable Tallgeese 3, which will probably come out late this year or early next year. The Tallgeese 3 is the most visually interesting out of the group, and you could pull off the Tallgeese 2 with a little modification and paintwork. I can really only make a judgment on what's available right now, and not what could be in a few months. And I would say this Master Grade Tallgeese is a really solid kit, with only a few, if minor, flaws that I can see. If you can only get 1 or 2 Master Grades this year, maybe wait for the Tallgeese 3. But if you have enjoyed the other Master Grade Wing EW kits, I think this one will go nicely with your collection. So please let me know what you think of this kit and the new review setup with a comment down below. If there are any suggestions that you may have to help me do a better review, please let me know. I always like to hear from you guys, and any comments are welcome. Of course, thank you to Gundam Guy and GG Unfit for sponsoring this kit, and make sure to follow the link down below to pick up your own kit from ggunfit.com. And thanks to all you guys and gals who've watched this video and stuck with me. I'm starting to work on the Master Grade Sinanju Stein now, so stay tuned for that and a lot more reviews soon, and I'll see you then.